Hey guys, in this video I'll be covering the Survival Bootcamp Nightmare event in the Gold Saucer in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. In this match, there's going to be a series of 3 rounds and you only get to use your deck of 15 cards across the 3 rounds. You don't draw a card every single round as per normal games, but instead you get 5 cards at the start of each round, meaning by the start of round 3 you actually draw all 15 cards in your deck. This can be rather challenging because, as you can see on the right hand side, to get all the rewards at the start, you need to aim for a total of 50 points across 3 stages, which can be quite challenging depending on the strategy that you take. I think this is probably the best strategy to go around for it. As you can see, I've already cleared the event. I'm currently in chapter 9, however every single card in this deck is obtainable the first time you access this minigame in Gold Saucer. Some of the cards you do need to play some of the other minigames in Gold Saucer and win the GP to exchange for them across the various vendors in Gold Saucer, but you gain access to these the same time as this event opens up anyway. Of note, the Loveless, Chocobo Jockey and the Saucer Squad are all purchasable within Gold Saucer the first time you come across the various shops that are in the Gold Saucer. I will also list in the video description where you can find every single card in this deck in case you are missing bits and pieces, so that you can put together the deck with relative ease. With that said, I'll jump into the match and I'll go through the strategy that I take to cover this event. Let's jump into the match. Alright, at the start of round 1, across the 3 rounds, you're given the option to mulligan. And take note, you are only given the option in round 1, you do not have the option to mulligan for round 2 and round 3. With this strat though, you don't actually need to. However, this strat does rely on a good starting hand. And the key critical thing is that you do not want to have the Chocobo and Moogle on round 1. So if you happen to start with it in your hand, you want to mulligan it away. Secondly, you optimally also want to have the Ifrit card at the start of round 1. This is not as critical. If you don't have it, it's not the end of the world, but it is actually ideal that you start with it. That is really the only thing that you really need. So if you have the Chocobo Moogle like I do here, just remove it completely. Now if you did get unlucky and get the Chocobo and Moogle card after you mulligan, which shouldn't be very likely, but if you did, then just restart the round again. The good thing is that you're just starting the match anyway, it doesn't take that long to restart. You can just press start and go to restart and get the match going. So you might as well just restart to get the optimal starting hand. Now at the start of the match, both you and your opponent gets the Gigantor card. This card is special because any square that it lands on or it adds pawns to gives you 2 pawns instead of the usual 1, and this is why it's ideal to get Ifrit at the start of round 1. So go ahead and place 1 Gigantor card in the middle, as such. This sets up so that you can immediately play the Ifrit card on your second card. Now whether to place Ifrit at the top or bottom depends on the other cards that you get. In this deck, you have the Crystalline Crab, the Shawlopods, as well as the Spearhawks. The Crystalline Crab and the Shawlopods will increase the power of the card above, whereas the Spearhawk will increase the power of the card below. So since I have Spearhawk, I will ideally want to play them at the top row eventually. So for that reason, I place Ifrit at the bottom. Of course, if you instead draw the Shawlopods or the Crystalline Crabs, then you will want to instead place Ifrit at the top. From here on, you want to continue progression and you want to use up every single card in your hand, ideally speaking, because you want to obviously buff the Ifrit card as much as possible. Now there are 2 options here. I can use the Cactuar card or the Spearhawk card. I decided to go for the Cactuar card. Here I play the Costa card because the opponent has captured here and the bottom lane is at risk and you don't want him to capture that, so this is actually one of the reasons why I put the Costa card into this deck, because it's one of the cards excelling at capturing diagonal spaces, and there are circumstances just like this where it comes pretty handy. So here it is unfortunate here that I cannot actually buff another card, so I have to place a Spearhawk card here, but this is as good as it gets. Now don't worry too much about the score on round 1, this is actually more or less good enough. Now round 2 is where the secret strategy comes into play. There is one key thing that you have to do at the start of round 2, and that is to actually pass the turn and lose the round. That's right, pass the turn and lose the round. It sounds counterintuitive because this means that on round 3 I need to get a minimum of 33 points in order to meet 50 points total, but trust me when I say this, just give up round 2. It's not worth it at all. Alright, round 3 is where this deck really truly shines. By this round, you should draw all the remaining cards and you will most definitely 100% draw the Chocobo and Moogle card because you've mulliganed it away on the first round and you draw every single remaining card in your deck by round 3. So the first thing that you want to do is place the Chocobo and Moogle card, because the whole idea here is that you want to advance and win with a very buffed up Chocobo and Moogle card. Round 3 is the best round to do this because as you can see there's a card in the middle that buffs every single card around it by +2, and this deck certainly capitalizes on that. So from here on in you want to just proceed as normal, playing a very standard game but obviously trying your best to sort of advance and gain as many of the buffs across the middle of the board as possible. If you have the Chocobo Jockey card, it's also ideal to place it somewhere. Here ideally you place it in the middle row because you'll most definitely win the middle row. Chocobo Jockey card is very critical to the success because if you win the race, it gets a bonus score of 10. So this card alone contributes 12 score total. Now I decided to take the risk and place it at the top lane because it makes most use out of the real estate. Let's see whether it works out or not. I don't want to place any card at the top or bottom because doing so will allow the opponent to capture the space. So instead what I do is I could choose to play the Sorcerer Squad actually, or might as well play the Titan card. Now let's play the Titan card. So here the opponent has captured the bottom, so this is perfect. This is where you want to capture the bottom as well. I could choose either to play the Crystalline Crab or the Shower Pot. Either one is fine. Obviously the Shower Pot it will be a bit better because it gives a bigger boost. And this is where the Archdragon comes into play. It is ideal that if you have Archdragons that they come in by the third round, though if you did draw them on the first round it's not a deal breaker, but it certainly helps because it reduces the opponent's score on round 3. It is a bit unfortunate that it is a high power card next to that Archdragon, because otherwise I could capture the space and gain another +2 points from it, but it is better than nothing, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. I want to place the Loveless card, but there's nothing much I can do with it, so not much difference between the other two. I'll just play the Sorcerer's Squad here. Now here I have a few options here. I can play the Loveless. In fact, I think probably Loveless is the best choice. I could use the Archdragon to reduce the score, but the enemy score doesn't actually matter. The goal of this minigame is you want to hit a score of 50 anyway. So Loveless would be best. What is important though is that you have to win the lane where your Chocobo jockey is on, because the extra +10 points is really crucial. However, with this, it allows me to also win, and I think it buffs the other card as well, so I'll go for Loveless. That's it, let's end the turn. There we go. You only need 50 points to get all the rewards, and this already gives me 69 on my first rerun here, so this is a very safe, very consistent strategy. You might need to restart round 1 if you get super unlucky and get the Chocobo and Moogle card in your opening hand, but as long as you don't have it, then it's best. And one final word, like I said, if you also have the Archdragon, it's probably better to mulligan it away on round 1, because Archdragon actually comes in better for round 3. Hope this video has been helpful, and if you enjoy the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!